I'm going to start working on this rust in these fenders a bit. These are the pieces that I took out. You remember? Same on this side. Well, my hope is to reuse some of this metal that I took out of the quarter over there. I think yeah, there's plenty there. Actually, this piece here I might be able to use because it's straight. I just need to clean it up. I don't know. I can get a decent chunk out of there. This is that body line right there. So I might probably just go ahead and cut a piece out of there. And then this one here, cut that one out. Then I'll have to make this shape somewhere. Same with this bottom piece. Actually, this bottom piece I was thinking about using because it's got, I don't know. But once I get all this cleaned up, I gotta spray and treat this with rust treatment and 415. But first thing is I'm gonna grind or wire wheel all of this. Get the rust cleaned up a bit. And we'll make some patches. So let me begin with that. That's not too bad. I gotta get in there with something a little better. I gotta patch this somehow, clean that off. Okay, let me swap tools here. Okay. That's the wrong end. Die grinder. I'm guessing you can't see anything right there. And I can't get into position. Yes, it would be better to have it on the table, a bench or something. And so I can look down on it and get it better. But that's not too bad. That's not too bad. If I could point the camera. Anyway, I think that's decent enough to hit it with some rust treatment. And meanwhile, I can cut out some patches. I'll do that. Quick show you on the first piece. I opted to not go with that one because of that rust and mainly the Bondo. The rust I could clean up some more. But it's got this lip down here. So this is a piece that I cut out of that part of, I cut out of the quarter over there using the same. And I didn't want to have to like weld on that. So, and then this is, I did reuse this piece here so far. So what I need to do is put a piece in right here yet. And then, of course, well, I'm not going to weld anything for a little bit yet. Plan is to take care of all the rust like that to that point. Well, actually, all treated and really nothing more to do on the rust. And then I'll start welding up panels. Because I got this can POR 15. Once you open something like this, you got to use it because it's like air activated. You can use part of it and then close the can, and say a month later or a year later, it doesn't keep like paint. You're not going to get the top off. It's going to be so hardened and attached. And there might be some liquid in there, but there's going to be a skin, even though it was really tight for you. And you put it back on. So the point is I'm going to use that entire can on all this deck up here and wherever I weld. And that'll be all undercoated. Wherever I weld, I want to POR 15, stuff like this. Not so much the edges because it's not weld through primer, but I did get some weld through primer, which I'm going to attempt to get, like right in here. I'll spot weld that, and I'll spot weld along in here. But to do that, it'll be weld through primered. And I'm not going to do this Fender patching it all until I have access to this quarter over here which will be shortly. That area right there I will repurpose to patch this fender because it's got the same profile. Mainly this. But then we'll just weld that up and weld that up and grind it smooth. Okay. Later. On more of that later.